The star of 60 Minutes, Scott Pelley, now has major calls for him to step down, step aside before Skydance takes over Paramount. A settlement on the way. But he is screeching, yelling, profaning himself, and causing those who watch the news to doubt he can ever deliver it straightly again. Today, we'll tell you why lately it looks like the legacy dinosaur going extinct media has lost their minds. Hello, folks, and welcome back. We're having a good time right here on the Pro Channel, where we continue to give you the news you need to know. Keeping you ahead of the culture curve is what we do. As we get ready to go into the news, click the like button. And if you are a journalist with the drive-bys, get your notebooks ready. We've got tomorrow's headlines already written for you. Ladies and gentlemen, take a look at this out of New York Post. It's by Michael Goodwin. It says Scott Pelley's anti-Trump diatribe was more of the same warped, distorted nonsense that puts the BS in the CBS. And we'll show you the video in just a minute. Let's get a quick reading on this. It says, leaving aside that Scott Pelley probably spoiled graduation day for some Wake Forest University parents and students, his anti-Trump commencement screed last week still has its virtues. Now, you all need to know who this man is for this to make sense. 60 Minutes has caused CBS and their parent company Paramount to have to spend millions of dollars to try to settle with Donald Trump because of an edited interview they did with Kamala Harris that is also now holding up their merger with Skydance. CBS News has acted completely and utterly dishonorably and has essentially tried to sabotage this existential crisis that Paramount has, where they need to be bought by this company immediately. Scott Pelley is one of the main guys over on 60 Minutes. This, we'll pull this up. Hang on a second, folks. It's refreshifying for me. And here we go. Sorry about that. Here is the video of what Scott Pelley had to say. Now, remember that we've been doing the reports that it looks like now Paramount has agreed they're going to settle. They're going to pay. And this has infuriated the news division. This has infuriated the drive-by journalists out there. But this is Scott Pelley, who fashions himself as a journalist. He fashions himself as a truth teller. Here's what he said at Wake Forest in North Carolina, where perhaps a large portion, maybe even a majority of the people out there listening to him for this graduation day are Orange Man supporters. And here's what he did on their big day. Listen in to Mr. 60 Minutes himself, and then we'll get back to why now there are calls not only for Paramount to settle, but to then score this settlement by getting rid of him along with the rest of the cash that's got to go out. Here is Scott Pelley.
But in this moment, this morning, our sacred rule of law is under attack. Journalism is under attack. Universities are under attack. Freedom of speech is under attack. And insidious fear is reaching through our schools, our businesses, our homes, and into our private thoughts. The fear to speak.
Now, panel, are you filled with insidious fear right now? This is the man who leads the news over at CBS. He's the head of 60 Minutes. Are you all instilled and filled with insidious fear such that you cannot utter a single word?
No. I actually feel like I can say what's on my mind more. It's easier to do that now. It used to be censored way more. Mm-hmm. And journalism, like that's why I rolled my eyes as soon as he said journalism's under attack. It's like journalism isn't what it used to be. You used to go to journalists to get the real news. They used to do the hard hitting, they would deep dive and tell you what you needed to hear. But now you can just pay them off and they're gonna lie to you. So journalists suck now. So I don't care if they're getting censored. Like, no, they're not. But yeah,
I don't think this guy understands what it's been like. I'll just speak from my experience in corporate America. All of the conservatives go around not saying anything of substance. All of the Christians go around not saying anything of substance because they know that if they say anything about their actual beliefs, they'll get called into an HR meeting. So this guy has no idea what he's talking about on any level whatsoever.
Remember, it was just 2 years ago, we were doing reports here on the channel of people, Disney employees, who were telling us, hey, if I say something online that's not even bad, it's just a normal middle to right position. If I say that online, I'm going to see HR. Like they're going to call me in there for doing that. That, it's not like that was 20 years ago and the memory has faded. This was just a few years ago. Let's go to the article again. We'll come back to Mr. Pelley in just a minute, but this is the argument that's being made on why he has to go. It says former CBS giant Dan Rather used to say the same thing about himself right up until the moment he got booted for using phony documents to try to help John Kerry defeat George W. Similarly, Pelley has come out as a rank partisan and can never again be trusted to cover anything remotely related to Trump or politics. And that's exactly right. This is the problem. And it makes me wonder if he already knows that he's done. That once Skydance purchases Paramount and gets control of CBS News, all of these people are gone. They're all done because they are rank crazy partisans. They're hacks. Why else would he come out and do these kinds of attacks? He can no longer be trusted whatsoever. It says, consider that a majority of North Carolina voters back Trump, meaning that some of the adults in Pelley's audience, including faculty and parents and possibly many students, voted for the man their graduation speaker described as a wannabe fascist dictator and a racist. Because in addition to his silly comparisons to World War II, Pelley likened the current atmosphere to the run-up of the Civil War. That's why calls are coming in now for this man to go. Tabitha, I'll go to you. Your thoughts on how the drive-bys, the legacy media, how they're handling this time where essentially everything's going to the new media. Nobody trusts them anymore. And even the corporations that are buying them, owning them, they want to show them the door. Your thoughts?
I mean, it is true. You were saying that earlier too, when we were just talking about Disney, how people are going more and more to YouTube for either entertainment, whether that's journalism, whether that's gaming. Like so many people are watching other people play video games and things like that. And so you lose your trust when you take places that are respectful. Like as far as the Oval Office here, you have the platform, I should say, where you're speaking to a bunch of students who are graduating and about ready to pursue their dreams and their whatever. You're supposed to inspire them. Now, there's a way to do that and still address the situation and everything. But again, it's one of those things where personal opinions on such a platform, it's not the place for it. You could easily say, go out and be strong, be aware of the issues that need to be fixed. What is that quote that says, God, give me the grace to change the things that I can and the courage or the acceptance to know the difference that I can't change things. I've got it reworded that way. But essentially, you can do that without actually putting, your specific things on there and just say, hey, stay aware. There are people out there, you make a general statement. There are people out there that will try to change you and they will try to twist you and turn you against this and this, but we got to stand strong. Make sure you read a good book now and then, all these kinds of things. But instead, it's always one side or the other. And it's falling apart because as we could clearly see from the previous election, a majority of America is just fed up and just doesn't take it anymore. And of course, it's like, know your audience. It's North Carolina. Now, Wake Forest is pretty liberal. It's a university. I've been around there and all that stuff. You go to the cities, NC State and all this stuff. But yeah, North Carolina is red.
All right, well, let's get some more of Mr. 60 Minutes himself and see if it turns faces red out there as they listen to what he says. The dread he must feel, the evil that is covering the United States of America right now. Remember, this is supposed to be an unbiased, neutral voice leading 60 Minutes and their honest news coverage.
In America.
In America.
Power can rewrite history with grotesque, false narratives. They can make criminals heroes and heroes criminals. Power can change the definition of the words we use.
I was going to say, is he talking about the Democrats?
Reality.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Diversity
This
is now described as illegal. Equity is to be shunned.
Yes, equity is definitely to be shunned because equity is different than equality, and he wants you to not know that.
Inclusion.
When has what did he say? When has diversity become illegal? Where has diversity become illegal?
Oh, they're trying to claim that because we're getting rid of the quotas, DEI quotas, where you have to hire people, a certain percentage of people based on their immutable differences. that is making it illegal to have diversity, which is
So
insane.
they just basically twist it to make it sound.
Exactly. All right, we'll clear this clip out, then we'll get to the final thoughts.
Is a dirty word. This is an old playbook, my friends. There's nothing new in this.
He's right about that. His playbook is very old, and there is nothing new in it. But can you imagine? And this is why people are now calling for him to be removed. And maybe Skydance will just do it when they get the buyout. But can you imagine being a graduate? You've worked for 4 years to get to this moment. This is your big celebration moment. And this old stodgy man from 60 Minutes comes hobbling up to the podium and then tells you what an evil, dark, and desperate world you live in. And maybe you're the one, maybe you voted for this because you live in a sanity landscape that isn't this draconian place he believes exists. This man presents a ghoulish nightmarescape as if it's reality. I feel sorry for the families who were there to celebrate. I feel sorry for the graduates who came on their day, and this man stole it from them. He stole their day and turned it into this dark, dark screed. And I only can say that the calls for him to go, I think they're appropriate because I think that's what he's doing to the vulnerable out there who listen to his newscasts and believe what he has to say. Panel, I'll give you final thoughts on this one.
Well, I mean, he contradicted himself. First, he's like painting this picture about how awful America is. And then all of a sudden he has the audacity to say, this, and this is being taken away from us in America. It's like, well, don't paint America bad and then be surprised when things don't go your way. And then at the nearing the end, it's like, again, we need to change this and do that. The third, he's flip-flopping on is America good? Is it bad? Is this possible? How can this be? What a loser.
And I'll say this too, I'm not here to say that everything about America is great right now. Because I would not say that about humanity right now. We can all go drive right now and find a place in America that is rough. We can go find places where people are making bad decisions. We can go find places where innocent people have been put into bad positions where they don't want to be. Some of you out there listening right now are in positions you don't want to be in. And some of those places you're in are because of the way that others have acted and put you into bad spots. We're not saying that the system is perfect. We're not saying that we can achieve a perfection. But this idea of taking the graduation day of these young people and saying, it is a dark day indeed, and evil lurks at our ledge. It's like, dude, can you not step off for a minute and let these people celebrate? It's like going to a birthday, dressed all in black. Jeez Louise, man, take it back.
Don't be surprised if all those graduates become baristas and start joining the crowd around Starbucks.
I'm sorry, I want to bring it back home here because we were talking about Scott Pelley. We're talking about how look what he was saying during that speech, right? His, the good can become evil and the evil can become good based on the information out there. That Starbucks employee was a victim of a lot of this propaganda, a lot of this stuff that was put out by the media. It's, I guess, one of the reasons why they still are wearing masks to this day, right? And that's the real power of the media. And Scott Pelley understands that power of the media. This is why I disagree with Jonas for just a second, because he understands what he's doing. He understands how reality really is, especially in the workforce and everything else. But he is attempting to present a reality that just doesn't exist. And he presents this the administration and the power that it has with actually the power of the media and how words can affect certain people and how people make decisions based on those words. That's what he's talking about. That's why I said confession through projection. He is confessing by way of projection what the media is really capable of, and I think that's really important and profound to understand.
As ever, folks, we endeavor to have a good time here on the Pro Channel, and I have to say that spending time with you, talking about things that truly matter, like the stories that shape our lives and our culture, well, it is the ride of a lifetime to steal from Bob Iger. And that's the only thing we'll steal from Bob because he has great security around his yacht. Folks, as we get ready to say goodbye, consider clicking the like button, share, subscribe, click it, and stick it to the algorithms. It is the notification bell. Drop a comment right on down below. Let us know your thoughts. We would love to hear from you. And folks, worry not, for more content is still on the way. 3 or 4 times a day. Let's do 4. I think that's better. And you know what? Don't forget that the Pro Show is live Tuesdays and Thursdays at noon Eastern. You can also join us for our friends on That Park Place, our partner program. We have a good time there too. Folks, until the next time we get the opportunity to have a good time with you, keep learning, keep growing, and as ever, keep having fun.
Hey, Floral, guess what?
You put a fork in Pro's microwave again.
No, that was yesterday.
I don't know that what.
Oh, I've decided to give up on torturing Jonas.
What? Why? In the same way the cat sleeps like 20 hours a day, that was like your purpose.
I know, but I've decided there's bigger fish to fry.
Okay.
Like Lorne. I mean, think about it. Everybody loves him. He's a fan favorite, and frankly, he has almost no weaknesses I can find. Except that he's really smart.
So, you want to annoy the one panelist without a single flaw, because he's smart.
Yeah, like that winged statue at that fancy Paris museum thingy. I want to break the one thing that everyone loves most.
Right. So, kind of like the opposite of Rachel Zegler.
Yeah, exactly. And I get to see her all the time at family reunions anyway.
You get to see Rachel Zegler?
Yeah. I mean, she's a total troll. Lives under a bridge, harasses billy goats, the whole 9 yards.
It all makes sense now.
Speaking of which, maybe she'll get me... I'm gonna call her on my... I'm gonna call her and see if she'll be in the next Indiana Jones. She should be the next Indiana Jones. That'll totally destroy Lord. He loves Indiana Jones.
Oh, that's cruel.
Hey, Rach. I've got a cool idea for you that involves a whip and snakes.
I love that description. It's perfect.
I know, right? Weird, as we always say.